All right, kids, we're going to start our project over communication, and it's over uh, teens texting and driving. And it's a big epidemic that's happening. So we're going to do what we call we're going to go and do an advertisement, marketing campaign over teens texting and driving because, again, I believe it's a huge problem, and I think we can have a bit of a say in how this thing goes. So the introduction to the project is kind of what we're going over. You're going to learn a little bit, some things that happen, or what we could use to make this project work. We're going to use many forms of communication technology, and I kind of want to teach you what communication technology is part of and how it works. And if you think about it, communication is just taking a message from me to you. And you can do this several ways, but communication technology is using technical means to transmit the data. So, for example, in the advertisements, we're going to use print media, we're going to use television, we're going to use all sorts of different things to communicate our messages, and not just a message talking from me and talking to you, but we're going to use the technology to make that message work. So that's what communication technology is, and we're going to use a bunch of it. So it'd be kind of neat to see that. So understand what the technology is. Okay, so here's some things that you're going to have to know to get across to everybody. You're going to communicate these messages. You're going to convey ideas. The ideas in your head. How we're going to get that across. We're going to exchange information. So you're going to go and research information that you might need to use. And I guarantee you're going to express some emotions into all your projects that we do. The reason we do emotions, and that's one of the biggest ones, is it ties us to the event. You can think of all those dog commercials that the Humane Society commercials. And Sarah McLachlan singing in the background, in the arms of an angel, and you see the dogs that look depressed and beat, and those really touch home to most of us. Most of us can relate to animals and how they're mistreated. So by using emotions, people remember that forever. So we're going to learn to use all three of these into our advertisement that we're going to work on. Okay, we're going to do that in several different ways on this project. You're going to inform people. We are going to do a television documentary. You're going to persuade people through magazine articles and posters and billboards. And also, hopefully, you might choose to entertain people with your television. It all depends on how you want your ad to go through. Some people don't like to entertain because they want to use the emotions and make it something that's a very serious thing. So it all depends on how you want to come across, but you are going to inform, persuade, entertain by using your information, your ideas, and your emotions. So one thing I want to talk to you about is we've been talking about communication and communication technology, and this is how it works. Most common forms of communication, it comes from me talking to you, person to person. That's the most common. However, we're starting to branch out into all these different areas, and this is what you're going to use. You're going to use a lot of machine to human. We're going to be using human to machine, and we're also going to be doing some machine to machine communicating. You are going to take and print a poster. So the computer talking to the printer is a form of communication. And the reason we want to learn a little bit about each of these modes is because of this is how we are inventing new things. Think of the automobile and the way it is starting to change around texting. Okay, they're starting to come out with a lot of hands-free devices because of the way teens text and drive. And not just teens, but everybody in general. So there's a lot of things that are changing. The way machines talk to humans is huge. Okay. Now, systems that you're going to use to create your ad, you're going to use some printed graphics. We are going to use some photography. We're going to use some computer and internet communication and telecommunications. And we're going to go over each of those individually. So I'm just going to go through this slide quickly. The ad campaign. You're going to create a printed graphic. Excuse me. A printed graphic that is basically informative, and you are going to talk about texting and driving in general. You might use ideas, emotions, or information, or all three of them somehow. Okay, and this is just an example of a flyer that you might create. Again, we're going to do another part of the ad campaign is going to be creating a magazine to persuade people, obviously, not to do it, not to text and drive. Again, you're going to use ideas, emotions, or information to create this persuasion piece. Okay, you're also going to use do some photography. You're going to have to actually take pictures of everything that you want on this poster. Okay, you will have to set up the camera, the lights, etc. And you'll also take pictures of each people in your group as the writers or the creators of this project. So again, kind of another neat printed graphic that we're going to use photographic communication. And towards the end, we're going to create a short video or documentary commercial. This is the highlight video that we could use. And you're going to highlight the topic of teens and texting and driving. So good luck. Again, this is just an introductory slide to introduce you what communication technology is about. Again, it's printed graphics, photography, telecommunications, computer and internet communications, and utilizing all those to create a powerful message. And I think this can be fun because you're going to work as a group to make this, and then when it's all done, we're actually going to print it and publish it and put it on the walls at school and YouTube your videos and make a big, powerful statement out in the real world. Because I really do think it comes from you guys, you teens. Once you guys realize that this is bad, the adults will actually follow you. And it's a huge, powerful statement. So this is something that's going to really change your lives and hopefully others as well. Just one last piece of advice, always check Canvas. It's going to have your deadlines. It's going to have everything that you need to do, checklist, etc. on Canvas. So make sure you check at least once, twice a week to see what's coming up. Have fun.